What's up, guys? I want to start this video off by saying Siocast, or whatever this stuff is that Corvus Belli uses, sucks. Okay, so as I'm holding this guy together to hopefully the super glue even work on this stuff, it feels like it doesn't. I'm in the crunch zone. I have this Infinity commission. It's been a nightmare from the start, but I'm in the final week. I've got to turn it over. I was expecting July. Now it has to be done at the end of the week. Bad. Luckily, I'm gonna put everything else. I'm just painting the tabletop. I think I went above and beyond on Maximus of what the, I'm not even a customer. I don't want to talk about it, but what they were expecting on Maximus. The rest of these guys are just gonna be tabletop level. And even my tabletop level is pretty high. It's like not normal tabletop level, but gonna have to do a lot of airbrush. I'm getting the rest of them built. I didn't realize I didn't have some of them not built like this guy. So getting this guy built this weekend is gonna be all about getting as much work put into these guys as possible. I'm gonna prime them, airbrush them some more, do a bunch of airbrushing. I got to do a lot of work with the airbrush here, and then that gives me the rest of the week where maybe I don't have as big of like sessions where I can sit down at one time and paint. But I had to clear the schedule. Got to get a ton of work into these, so let's get to it. Okay, I'm about 3 hours in. I got everybody built. Air compressor is going, as you can hear. Everybody's built. Everybody's primed with the zenithal. Almost done with Maximus, like almost done. I finished up the non-metal metallic over there. I gotta drink some coffee, and now it's time to do some thinking about order operate. Okay, so actually, I've been looking at the boxes again. And I was looking at Human Spear, and I think it'll actually be faster to not use the airbrush, because if I'm looking like these models specifically, this is perfect for contrast paint, because I can bang that out and then highlight it and get pretty close to the box art. And I don't really know if it's worth messing with the airbrush for the boots when I can kind of do the same thing pretty fast with the brush on these than I thought originally. But I'm looking at them, they're almost dry. So let's just start going. Let's see what happens. Another issue is there's no tutorials on these. I'm trying to just like figure out the colors. So really a test. I'm gonna start with this. And I think this is probably closer to his mane than the rest of the body. But I'm gonna hit everything with this. And then I'm gonna kind of see where I can come back in with some yellow. I got a freshly cleaned airbrush. So a couple of drops of this. Right, I'm not gonna need a ton because I already know I'm gonna have to come back in with a different color. So a couple of drops of this, a splash of water, a couple of drops of flow improver. Yeah, let me show you. So just like literally just a little bit of drops. I'm gonna try to just do like 1, 2, maybe 3 on the flip of flow improver. Here we go. Should I zoom in? You want to get a little bit closer? You want to see what's going on? We know we're gonna come in here, and I'm just kind of vibing. I'm practicing being careful with where the paint's gonna go, because I'm gonna try to cut in a lot of stuff with the airbrush down the road. So I'm just practicing here to get it right, And again, I know that this is the wrong color for the skin. I think we're gonna be pretty spot on for this mane to work up from. I have no idea what color these spikes in the back are gonna be because they're not in the frame of the photo. Let's see if I can find some online, something maybe. I think they're gonna be like a brownish color. So I just got, yeah, this color is gonna be really good for that mane, but not so much for the other stuff. And I'm actually, fuck it, we're just gonna overspray because I gotta get it done. And there's no point in me messing around. We're gonna lay the base of this green in here, and we're gonna pick this green up a lot. Leaving some of the shadows in there. You can see our belly. Set it right there. All right, we want to get a little bit more of this brighter color in on the face and kind of radiate it out. Okay. What comes next? What comes next? We need a more... I'm just going to let it record. I'm just going to record while I'm vibing out on this, and this will just be one of those. So this is Amarilla Yellow Game Ink, and I'm putting just a few drops in here. And I want to see... This is giving us more of this like bright green color. And I'm gonna try to keep this off the bottom of that mane. But we definitely want it on the hands and the arms here, because they're actually a lot brighter of a green. And the legs too. Look at the backside like I almost just did. That would not have been good. Make sure this is the color we really want the green to be. I want to be careful. I don't want to hit that too much because I don't want to overwork it and have it get too wet. All right, we're starting to get our different tones. I don't know, values, tones. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going through some really hard shit right now in my life, honestly, and I don't know what I'm doing. I just got a paintbrush, and I got a commission that's stressing me out, and I don't know what I'm doing. Does anybody know what they're doing? Does anything ever really get better? I don't fucking know. Here we go. Okay. So this guy's greener on his legs than he is on his face. And now we're going to just blow it all up. We're going to mess it all up. I should have a glove on. I lost my glove. Oh my God. I just watermarked the belly gut. I just got to tease it back out. I'm just making sure I don't have a hard line that's going to make a bunch of texture later, because I'm going to come back in with some more yellow on the belly too. I'm happy with the hands for the most part. We're gonna brush highlight it. We're just trying to get we're just base coating, essentially, is what we're doing here, folks. And I'm just seeing if there's anything else I can hit with this green before I have to come in and mess up the hair. Okay, we're gonna come on the face. Pause. We're going to hit this face very carefully. I'm using my busted up Awada still. Hopefully this has all been in frame. I haven't even checked because I'm having difficulty. I'm going very slow, very carefully. I'm just hitting dead center of this and working it out. And we're going to do a lot more here, but it's just the initial lightening process of that. So put the airbrush down. This is what we're going for with the ring flash in the way. We're slowly working ourselves up to that, and you got to trust the process. It's not going to be perfect just because I don't have the exact colors, and I'm just trying to figure this out. You know, we're going to need more of like a sickly yellow in here. So let's add. I will say that this is good. Like, this bottle's almost empty, and I never would use it normally, but this only has to be a 1 of, and I'm never going to paint anything like it again. So now we're just going to slowly work up to get in this crazier green in. And same. We're not in frame at all. Oh my lord. I'll brush paint this fur right here. I just realized that that was some of his fur. I'll go back in with the brush and hit that, just because I just saw it. I'm not able to go back in time in the airbrush spot right now. All right, I'm feeling good with how the hands are and the feet, but I gotta get this torso more yellow. Okay, I just got all the green out. I've got this gold yellow. I don't know. We're just vibing, guys. Who knows what's gonna happen? Who knows what's coming out of the airbrush? I don't. Nothing's coming out of the airbrush. That's what's happening. All right, that paint is thick, but we got exactly what I wanted. So again, I don't think it's not gonna be a 1-to-1 match, but it's gonna be pretty close. So here we go on the belly gut, very slowly on the trigger. Maybe that's a little too slow. There we go. You see it turning yellow now? And it's like that sickly yellow. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And I'm not very lucky. But in this, I will take it. So just being careful. I don't want to get a bunch on the mane. I'll definitely work on the mane some more with a brush, so I'll be able to fix any overspray. And I'm looking, it looks like the underside of these arms is a little bit yellow. But the big part is getting this little belly, this nasty color. And I think oh, look at that. Look at that. I am so good at painting miniatures. I am so good at it. All right, so now I'm checking where my finger needs to be to get. Okay, so I can come in pretty close right here. And I'm just hitting this ab muscle. And I'm hitting them hard. And then I'm just gonna come back in and feather them out just a little bit. But now with that first green we put on there, you can see that like the shadow really comes in. And is it 1-to-1 to the box art? No, but did I do it in 10 minutes? And does it look pretty damn good? Yes, it does. And that's what matters in situations like this. And I'm gonna hit this underside of his little tail there very carefully, very sparingly. You know, I'm just gonna add a little bit of the yellow to the tail just to try to increase the contrast, as they say. With these little elbows some, and because now that I'm going like I'm going pretty sparingly. Now it's just highlighting that green. So there's a lot going on here. The green looks way better. Like it looks very plasticky on camera right now, but I promise you it looks way better real life. So now, again, this color, we're just trying to brighten up the middle of this face. Like so. All right, now it's gonna be scary because I'm gonna take some white and we're gonna go in the middle of this face with white. I'm gonna leave some of this yellow in there. I should have a respirator on. But what can you do? I can't find it. That's what I'm gonna be saying when I'm in the hospital. Okay, just Vallejo white. Model Air white. The first white. Oh God. There's no lid in here. What in the world? Look at this. Who does this to their paints? All right, I'm just gonna put way too much paint in the pot. Way more there's way more white in here than I wanted. Way more. We're gonna mess everything up. And everybody's gonna laugh at us. We need to add, what was the first green we did? We need to add some of this back in. I think it was this one. Do you think I'm gonna edit out the awkward silences and the long pauses? Wrong. If you didn't like those, you're in the wrong place, because you're not coming here for video editing. You're coming here for a little bit of painting opportunity and hopefully a whole lot of humorous commentary. All right. So now we're back in here. I actually do need a little bit. Do I need a little bit more white? I don't know. I think I certainly do. It's a very scientific process. If anything, just remember, it's not a formula. We're having fun, you know. It's experimentation. All right, I think we're good. Make sure I'm not gonna speckle like I got a glove on. All right, I'm gonna hit the middle of this face with this white, and I'm gonna be, oh my goodness, feathering it out over the top. Hey, look at that. Look at our face. The middle face is going to be painted like a flesh color. So just keep thinking, just think about that beard. Look at that. We're pretty close. Is it perfect? No, but we're pretty close. Because remember, I'm going to hit it with a wash still. And I'm going to do a little bit of brushwork still. We're pretty damn close. We're slightly off. Actually, looking at this belly, I think it needs to be a little bit darker. A little bit more tan. I can probably do that with a wash though. So I'm not gonna, I think I'm done with the airbrush on this. All right, just got done airbrushing. I'm thinking about it. I might be done airbrushing on the projects. I'll probably airbrush the bases when it's time for bases, but I don't know. I'm looking at them, looking at you, looking at the models, looking at you, looking at the models. I think if I come in with just like my normal painting style, it might actually be faster than the airbrushing. And then, because I'm gonna have to keep going upstairs to clean the airbrush out, because my sink that was down here fell off the wall and took the water line with it. So I don't have a sink down here anymore. So like I got to go upstairs to clean the airbrush out. I got to clean, like the time it takes to clean the airbrush, mess around with the kids, say hi to the wife. Like that's an hour to clean the airbrush out, you know? So there's a cost that comes with cleaning a time cost that comes with cleaning the airbrush out. So I just don't know if it's worth it to try and just like airbrush these base coats when I can come in and just paint it. I'm definitely still going to airbrush the power sword thing, like the pink sword guy. I'm definitely going to airbrush the skin tones because painting skin from scratches is not fun anymore. And I'll probably airbrush the trench coat guy and the other one. So I think I'm going to, my plan was to get all the airbrushing done today, but I actually think I'm going to try to base coat as many things as I can in the brushwork today and then like see what is left for the airbrush. And clean the airbrush out tonight and then come in tomorrow and kind of do the same thing where I'll airbrush in the morning and then when my airbrush is too dirty to keep going, I'll just let it sit, clean it out at night and come back. But we're doing good, making progress. I'm staring down these prime models and there's really nothing left to do but to just... Okay, if you're like me, the first time you were using speed paints, contrast paints, whatever you have, what have you, you got to use a synthetic brush. Don't use a sable hair. The longer the better. Like I would even say this brush is maybe too short, but we're gonna give it a shot. Shake them a lot, and of course, non-wet palette. A couple of drops in here, and we're gonna hit. What are we gonna do? I'm gonna paint these. I got my reference, my box art right there. This whole bottom thing is gray. This whole thing. It looks white in my phone, but it's gray. And we'll highlight it up to white, you know? So like quite literally all of this right in here, that's a lot of paint on my brush, is gray. Like even those flaps right there. And just all of that is gray. These tassels are like an orange color. And we'll hit that. You know, we'll hit that. We'll paint in frame too. Probably be a wise decision. And so we're still going to highlight this. Like this is not a one and done contrast job. I just really like using these Army Painter speed paints a lot. Just a lot. They're very good for my style of painting where it's all just like sketching and glazing. and a little bit of blending, you know, because I can hit this white. I can get in my head of like, hey, this is going to be the gray, and this helps me get a good base coat in, and then I can go crazy on top of it, and this just serves as a really good foundation. And that right there is actually going to be orange, and there's a ton of paints in right here. We got to get rid of that, especially over the zenithal, because this was a pretty janky priming job because my airbrush was clogged. And it doesn't really matter. Like, I also want to show you, it doesn't really, your priming doesn't have to be. The important part of the primer is that it's smooth. It's okay if it's a little speckly, because we'll just do a second coat over that if we need to. But otherwise, this is just helping us build up texture and build up contrast on the model. See, we've got our gray pants, and I'm just making sure the contrast paint's not pooling anywhere. And like, I could have airbrushed this, but it would have just caused me way more problems than it would have been worth to try and airbrush that. So there's one done. I'm gonna do the second one. Okay, so we're here, right? I've painted the gray of the jumpsuit being folded down. Let me zoom in here. So I started painting this black, which it's actually Tenebris again, because Tenebris is like really starting to fall in love with it. So a really cool bluish black, and I'm taking some of the Tenebris on my thumb right here, and then I'm taking some of that gray still. This is the gray Army Painter speed paint, and this is too much for my brush. I'm just using that to mix in with this. Tenebris is AK, right? Like, it's not a speed paint, probably not meant to be doing this, but I'm lightening it up now just with that gray that I had, and I'm painting in the highlights of where the light is hitting this, which is like the belly, and it's very subtle. Like, I'll come back in here and I'll actually hit it, like, I want to take it probably to white like the box art is, but this is becoming a very subtle gray effect. Hopefully we can see it. That's coming in to help us build it up. Okay, in case I'm done for today, this is where I got. The cool thing is, I tried a new way of doing nominal metallic on Maximus's gun, and I don't know. I'm definitely going to revisit it some, but it was all kind of like wet blended, which is, I haven't tried this style before. So I was just kind of having fun with it. I think it looks cool, but I don't know if it comes across as a metallic like gun yet, you know? I don't know. I'm really happy with how like the musculature turned out, but we're so close to being done with him. He's just kind of chilling until I get the blues in the airbrush eventually. You can see I started highlighting up the grays here. It's gonna look good. It'll be white and not gray. Again, same thing with the tank tops. Put a lot of work, of actual paint work into this guy. Now that I cut him in, like, you can really tell the belly looks different and it looks good. Face is looking good. He's going to be very fast to paint. And then, of course, these guys are just primed, ready to go. So in case that's what 5 hours of hobbying looks like, which is, it's crazy. I got 5 hours in. It feels good. I'm feeling like I can maybe actually finish this in the timeline. So it feels good. Hopefully, I'm hoping I can come back down tonight and put in a couple more hours. And then tomorrow I'm going to hit it just as hard. And then every day this week, find time to hit it hard. So I really want to get as much done as if I could get everything like based and like tabletop ready by the end of the weekend. That'd be kind of cool, to where I'm just going back and highlighting stuff and like putting in the finishing touches during the week. That'd be really cool. So I don't know, maybe this is the end, maybe not. But if it is, I'll see you tomorrow and keep painting.